Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about a recent interview I saw with Elon Musk. He was on CNET and he was describing his new company Starlink, which he was pretty excited about, where he's going to be making a $5 to $10 billion investment. And what Starlink does is they basically provide broadband coverage via satellite to the entire world. So this video will be good to watch if you're interested to make an investment into Starlink, or maybe you already own a telecom stock and you want to gather some more information to see if Starlink's going to be a major competitive threat to your telecom stock. So that being said, let's watch the interview here from Elon Musk, and then I'll come back to discuss further with you.
There's a need for connectivity in places that don't have it right now, or where it is connectivity is very limited or very expensive. But at many parts of the world, like I said, that's simply not available. So you can think of Starlink as filling in the gaps between 5G and fiber, and really getting to the parts of the world that are the hardest to reach, the most difficult to reach, 3%, possibly 5%. And I think it really quite nicely complements fiber and 5G. So we've launched and now have active over 1,500 satellites. Let's see, there are a few interesting stats. The combined power of all the satellites is over 5 megawatts. So there's over 5 megawatts of solar from all the satellites combined. They're capable of outputting about 30 terabits per second of data, and starting in actually next month, almost next month, I should say. Starting in August, we should have global connectivity for everywhere except the poles. Now, as I said, it's really meant for sparsely populated regions. So because our spot size, talking in terms of cellular, is quite big. So we're well suited to low to medium density areas, but not to high density areas. In the high density areas, we will be able to serve a limited number of customers. But it is operational. We recently passed the strategically notable number of 69,420 active users. And we're, I think, on our way to having a few 100,000 users, possibly over 500,000 users within 12 months. So I think it's growing rapidly. And we're continuing to innovate the user terminal and the satellite and the ground stations and sort of gateways and points of presence. I think we're operational now in about 12 countries, and more being added every month. So it's like I said, it's a nice complement to fiber and to 5G. And it's also, although we can't talk about those deals today because our partner's not ready to announce them, I think it can be quite useful to a lot of telcos for data backhaul. So just, if people have cellular stations in remote regions, just using Starlink for data backhaul to their network can be a very cost-effective way of doing data backhaul. And then notably for Starlink, relative to, say, other satellite communication systems, we are at around 500 kilometers, whereas the geosynchronous satellites are around 36,000 kilometers. So latency for a Starlink system is similar to latency for ground-based fiber and 5G. So we're expecting to get latency down under 20 milliseconds. So you can still do, it feels very fast, like there's no lag. And you can play, for example, competitive video games on a Starlink system. But I do think from a technology standpoint, Starlink is quite different from prior LEO constellations in that the technology that we're deploying is very advanced. What happens often with space-based technology, somewhat ironically, is that it tends to be older technology that exists on the ground. So companies generally have been very conservative, so they've said, well, we want technology that's proven to work on the ground, and then we have to test it for years to make sure it's going to work in the vacuum of space with a higher radiation load and that kind of thing. And so the technology that's generally been launched into orbit has been older technology. And we took the opposite approach and said we're going to make technology that is, in some ways at least, more advanced than what is on the ground, and we're just going to take a chance. And so we have what's probably fair to say are the most sophisticated, the most advanced phased array technologies that, to the best of knowledge, no one has. It's not even at sort of military level. It has this level of sophistication with phased array technology, and I think that's sort of quite important for a fast-moving LEO constellation, because the terminal, which is a user terminal that is also phased array, and the terminal on the terminal on the satellite, the antenna on the satellite, they're both phased array. So you can switch from one satellite that's moving rapidly overhead to another one, and do so at the microsecond level. So there's you can't tell as the system is switching over from one satellite to another. There's no change in latency or jitter from one satellite to another. And a single satellite can illuminate many different user cell spots on the ground. And it's a digital phased array system. So we can continue to program and reprogram the system to greater efficiency because it is digital. So, like I said, to the best of my knowledge, it is the most advanced phased array system in the world. So that's pretty cool. So it's basically total investment probably is like at least $5, maybe $10 billion, and then over time it's going to be some multiple of that. I don't know, it could be 20 or 30 billion over time.
So that was some good information there from Elon. Very interesting feedback from him on the company. Now, what I also did was I went online and I looked around on the internet there to try to find some reviews on Starlink, and I found a guy named Stony Ridge Farmer. So he put up a video a couple days ago as well, talking about using Starlink and how he liked the product and how it was coming along from him. So he had some good feedback to say. So let me show you his clip first, and then I'll come back to discuss.
Starlink internet is not fully up and operational, but it has become available in my area, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to know. So you'll go to the Starlink website. You can easily Google it. I'll post a link down the video description. I'll pin a comment also. What you do is you pay, I believe, a $99 or $100 up front. That gets you on the list, and when Starlink becomes available, you'll receive an email and your equipment will come. Your equipment's going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $500. Now, I'd imagine as time goes on, the cost of that equipment's going to kind of go down. If you look at satellite TV, like back in the day, it cost you $300, $400, $500 to buy the satellites and stuff for satellite TV. Now it's free and free installation. This was super easy to install. I will post a link right up here or wherever, somewhere up there, to the initial install of our Starlink internet. Would I recommend Starlink, and how has it been over the last 3 weeks to a month? It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been awesome. If you've got slow rural internet, it's the answer, guys. It's the answer that you've been looking for. Some people have had varied results. My results have been super awesome here in North Carolina, and we're in north central North Carolina, about 10 minutes from the Virginia border here. Super duper happy.
All right, so there you have it. Some good feedback from Stony Ridge Farmer. Other reviews I saw online were mixed. Some were very good, some were not so good. It was a little bit of everything, but overall it seemed like a lot of the customers were pretty happy with the service. So it is something to take a look at as an investment. Me personally, I'm not going to be looking to invest in it at this point. I generally don't invest in IPOs. I want the company to be a bit more established so I can see the financial statements and that sort of thing. But you know, for guys who like to invest in new companies, new IPOs, it's something to look at, it's something to review. And so I hope you can use that information to help with your decision. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate the subscriptions. I'm trying to grow the channel here, so that'd be great. And we'll see you on the next video.